Now I wonder. I hear it twice, so I wonder if I'm playing it. Yeah, I forgot to. That's my fault.
Oh,
No one can.
don't
Every
ever
Evercade
change.
podcast,
Don't ever change.
everybody, right?
Well, the thing is, I want to bring up the chat, so I open up the window that has the stream. So I pull out the chat from the stream, but I forgot to close the video down.
So that's Crow's new thing, putting something in the window, like to start the He-Man.
It's not my
figure.
new thing. It's
What
my
was that,
old thing.
Lockjaw, I think.
Trapjaw.
Trapjaw,
Lockjaw
yeah.
is something entirely different.
Close. So yeah, Rich is off doing Gandalf things. So unfortunately, he won't be able to join us, but it's all good. Who knows? Maybe he'll appear. And so yeah, we got some stuff to talk about today. Very little in the way of news and things. You know, it's winding down towards the end of the year. So how's everybody doing?
Oh, look at that! The first trolls here. I shall block you.
I would have almost believed that with your second channel. You know.
Yeah, another asset with way too much time on their hands and no life and all the good stuff that goes with being a loser.
So we're doing good today, guys. So I give them more attention. So how you guys been? What have you been playing? All that fun stuff.
I've been busy. I don't know if you've watched any of my I say recent videos, but the video's not out yet. I have a video going up today, kind of explaining what I'm changing. But I did put up a post recently. I am stopping the Evercade videos that I've been doing. I'm changing the way I'm doing them, so it's not going to take me a month to do a video. So I kind of explained that. But yeah, we'll see actually how that goes. But because like I made that video, and what was funny was I after I made the video, I thought I forgot to hit record because I was doing it through OBS. So I thought it was, oh man, I didn't hit record because I couldn't find the file. So I was like, never mind. I guess it's not that important. And then I went ahead to make another video on a game I just downloaded off of Steam, brand new game on Steam. And then after I filmed that and I went to copy the files over, I found the original file. Oh, I guess I did hit record. So I hurried up and I edited that video to post it. So it's going to go up today. I still have to edit the other one. But then I still have two other videos that are, three. I have three other videos that are up on my channel just sitting, waiting to be published. Two for Pinball FX and another one for a game I actually played over a month ago. It's just been sitting up on my channel, and I was just waiting to publish it when there was like a lull in like if I didn't have a video go up in a week, I'd just publish that one. But I've been putting up videos like every week. So
nice.
It's a video I'm not really thinking a whole lot of people are gonna watch. That's why it's just been sitting there, but it's there.
Cool.
So
yeah, I gotta check out your super podcast video. I saw.
Oh yeah.
I gotta check.
It's funny. Out. Yeah, I had to go back after I finally made mine. I had to go back and watch Rich's video on it. I watched a couple other ones. Pete, did you put up a video for the Super Pockets, or did you put it up yesterday? Or
I got a Tato one up, and I've got the Capcom one up now for channel members until tomorrow.
Okay, so the non-member one that if you put it up yesterday, I didn't.
Yeah, that's the Tato one's up. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check that one out because I was actively looking for it and I couldn't find it. But that was on Thursday. I was doing that.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't even have it then. Like I only had it Thursday night or something like that, or maybe I can't remember when I got it. Thursday, I think. Thursday night. I'm not sure.
Actually, the thing about my video that I'm most proud of is the title. I don't know why I like the title of my video so much.
No, I feel you. It's like I'm proud of this one thing with the thumbnail. You know, I hear you. So let's say hi to the chat and we can talk about a few things here. So we got a archive gig. Oh my god, I can't even talk this morning. We have Dan Nastic, channel member. We have Nathan Foster. We have Jen Joke. We have Jason Shears. We have Lord Archback. Yeah, I think I said it right.
Arshbaki. I don't know.
We have Fan Fiction channel member. We have Tales from the Jungland Wastes. And we have Toxos, whose name keeps getting longer every single time, which is excellent. Sneak Eater 75. Robert G. Murdoch. We've got RMGB TV. And we've got Dan Ruff. See what I did there? And Super Pocket Video when. So okay. Well, I could answer that. So there could be a few possibilities. I could if my local retro store has some and I trade in some stuff, maybe. If next year if they come out with like a Namco, let's say like a Namco Super Pocket, and they do it right where it's like yellow and it's the Pac-Man, or maybe it's like red or pink and it's Miss Pac-Man, or like Hell freezes over and Blaze sends me one. I think that's
Oh, honestly, you know what? After I was messing around with it, I think I'm more likely to take the Super Pocket than I am the Evercade, just for the simple fact that it's smaller and lighter.
Yeah.
I'm not going to notice it in my pocket at all.
I think for me, like
for regular pockets.
Yes, it's for regular pockets.
Hey, John. I think for me, if I traveled a lot or I went to the office and I didn't work remote, like I'm one of those people, like I don't like to leave the house unless I have to. Then if I was in a, if I was gonna like play like gaming on breaks, or then yes. But I don't really have like a use case for it, if I'm being honest, other than that, or like occasionally going on vacation somewhere. You know what I mean? That's kind of the...
Well, and the other thing I didn't realize until after I was in the middle of making my video on it is even though the screen is smaller, it's a different aspect ratio. So when you're playing a game, and most of the games are 4:3 aspect ratio, so when you're comparing the screen size, like I was comparing Street Fighter on the Evercade XP and the Super Pocket, it's not that much smaller, because you're not having any black borders on the side. You're not having any wasted screen space.
See, that is neat. Like, what would have done it more for me is if like they made the screen better, like if it like bigger, like if it was like a 3.5 or 4, like if it was a bigger screen, then that would have. But then,
honest, I don't really think I saw anything where it's like, oh, this screen is too small. Even when I was playing like games in a Tate mode, yeah, it's a little bit harder to see, but it's not unplayable.
Yeah, those are the ones that I found kind of probably could have been replaced with actual 4:3 games, because they're much better to play.
Well,
not comfort-wise on the EXP, because you get the full screen. So I'm like, kind of, they should have probably curated the games to maximize that screen. Would have been better.
Well, I'm even talking about like on the like Evercade cartridges that I have games.
Oh yeah. I don't see this as an Evercade. Like, I judge it primarily.
I just after trying it though, it's like it works with like every game except for one, as far as I can tell for right now. So I'm left now more confused as to why they just didn't call this thing an Evercade.
Yeah, but I'm just judging it, like I was saying, on a pure product of being built-in games, and it just has a bonus. You can play Evercade games. I'm saying about the built-in games, if they avoided any Tate games, it's probably the best.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking
Operation Wolf, like that. I don't know that.
Yeah, you just
think,
like,
well, actually, Operation. I didn't find
Capcom
Operation Wolf to be that bad, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not going to get the analog control with that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's like, if they were going to, for the built-in games, if they stay away from Tate mode, it's probably in their best interest, just because the screen itself it's a pretty good screen. But I've noticed that the refresh rate's kind of weird. When I capture video on it, it's like some of the games are kind of got that wavy thing through it, and other games don't, which is weird because the EXP doesn't have that. Just notice that.
Yeah, I noticed that
for your video, Crow.
Yeah.
Oh, you noticed it in my video? I didn't even notice it in my
video. No, did you notice it in your video when you were capturing it? Because I captured it 4K 60, and it was just weird. It's just weird.
Actually, I was capturing a 4K 62, but I didn't really notice anything. I wasn't really looking though, so maybe it was there and I just didn't see it.
Yeah. Well, so here are the use cases for the Super Pocket. Like, if you want to collect it and just have everything like Evercade, Hyper Megatech, I get it. if you want it just to play like the games like on the Taito collection, which for me that's not a reason. Or if you're going to use it for the practical use, like bring it with you places. But like guys, like I don't like my Game Boy Advance, which is the most popular. Like I don't bring this with me, right? Because the other thing too, and maybe I haven't explained this, that like I only wear my glasses when I'm on the computer or reading or seeing stuff up close. And I can see far. So like for me to be able to play video game, then I'd have to bring glasses or bring readers with me, and then you have your it's not as it's just not as practical. So like for me, like I'm not the type of gamer. That's why I say like I love the form factor, but if it had a bigger screen than like what we have like on the
So
on the
you're
EXP,
saying
then that would be a different. Then that would
so
be
are
a
you
reason
saying
for me to
that
get it.
you're farsighted? Is that so you can't see things up close without your glasses? You can only see far away, or
It's a little more complicated. It's a little more complicated. I mean, yes, like I need magnification. Like when I was like younger, like my eyes would like when I was like younger, like my eyes would like cross and stuff. But so it's different because not only is it magnification, but like it's a lot more of a strain. So if I wear like non-prescription readers, like that just magnifies. But like my glasses, like there's extra stuff in the prescription lens to like help me like see better.
I was just thinking like before I had LASIK, I was nearsighted, so I could always see things close up, like
Yeah.
really good, even without glasses.
Yeah.
But even after LASIK, I'm still more comfortable seeing things up close. So I don't
Yeah.
really have those issues. So that's just me personally.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if people that may be farsighted or slightly farsighted may be more comfortable with a bigger screen.
Yeah, see that's kind of the thing, and I see that comment like all the time, either like on like our various YouTube channels or like in Discord, like hey, I've got older eyes, not so much. So for me, it's kind of like I would need something different. And then the other thing too is I'm losing features, like I can't remap buttons, which is for me is like super important. Like I like to be comfortable the certain way that I play the controls. So yeah, there has to be some catch up. So if I did get one of these, it would just be like out of pure like nostalgia, like oh my god, the Pac-Man one or the Tetris one, like those games where there's no or one button and then I don't really care.
I also
I mean?
kind of wish that the when you start out, you get to choose easy or difficult, and that's just an overall global switch for all the games. But I kind of wish it was a per game thing. But
exactly.
I also wish it let me know what exactly it was making easier.
Yeah. Oh,
also, another thing. Here's the thing. What if
Yeah.
you start playing a game in normal mode, but then you switch it to easy, but then you go and load a save state from a game you started in difficult mode? Are you
Good
playing
question.
in difficult mode, or did it switch to
That's
easy
a question
mode?
that'll break the internet.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me. That thought didn't occur to me until yesterday when I actually did that. And I was like, wait a minute, am I playing in easy mode or am I playing in difficult mode? I don't know, because the game doesn't even tell you what you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for me, the other like the selling point of Evercade is the physical cartridges too, right? Not the built-in stuff. Like I don't mind it being on the EXP or the VS because it's nice to have like a bonus, but that's not what those consoles are all about. So like for me, that like the magicalness isn't there with built-in games. Like to me, that like having the games built into the pocket, that's no different than playing them like on any other like emulation device.
And that's again where we were getting away from it being an Evercade, because I guess that's why you've got the spacer in there.
Yeah. But then again, if somebody
I watched a video. I thought it was funny. He really like I want to like slam the person that was doing it, because he knew he didn't really know. He thought it was a jumper, so he thought if he took the cartridge out, the games wouldn't work. And he took it out. He's like, "Wow, the games still work." He was like, "I'm like, yeah, because there's nothing in that cartridge."
Yeah, that's kind of funny actually.
Jumper. But with that said, though, you guys enjoy, anyone who enjoys the Super Pocket or any other retro gaming products, I'm never going to take that away. What I thought was interesting, a little late for this to come out, but like just in case like people didn't know how to use their Evercade with carts, they put out this blog post, which I mean that's fine. But
yeah, and
I found this amusing.
Yeah, actually, that was another thing I noticed that was a common theme. Even in Rich's video, he was having trouble figuring out how to actually, because he thought he'd put the cartridges and those Evercade games would just pop up. Instead, you have to go to the Evercade setting. There was the same person I was referring to actually never did figure out. He put in a game and he never did figure out. He in his comments in his description, he said, yeah, he figured it out. He'll have a follow-up video. But in the video he made, he's like, he couldn't figure out why his cartridges weren't working.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean,
It's kinda funny.
and like you bring up a good point. Like it's not an Evercade device, right? Because it doesn't have like the music that we like in the background that's chill. It has this, which to me every time, like that's like I don't even own a Super Pocket, and I'm just annoyed with. I'm annoyed with it. Like I would have to like mute that, like any type of music that's, and then the fact you
I
have to.
like it.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
I really like that. I like the
yeah, but
Super
again, that's
Pocket.
just like that, that's just like me. Like me, it's more like jarring. Like yes, I know like the loud noises and things. I have more of like a sensitivity. But
Yeah.
yeah, pressing that button, like for me, I love the fact that I can just swap carts in and out between like the EXP, the OG, and the VS. And it's and I get that same feeling like putting in like a Nintendo or Genesis. Like it's seamless. And you hear that noise, like you hear like that noise, like it's very like I've gotten used to that. Like it's very cool. Like that's like the magicalness because maybe because lately I've been playing my Evercade a lot on the EXP and on the VS. Like I swap my carts out like daily, depending which and I love that part of the ecosystem like so much.
It's not really a problem. Like it's not really a problem at all because
you mean the fact that it doesn't click when you put a cartridge in? Yeah,
you
I
just
wouldn't
put
say that's
it in
a
and
problem.
just once you learn to hit the menu button, I mean, we're talking like it's really for me not a problem. I feel like it's just another learned behavior. Like once you know to do it, it just does
and
it.
it's when you think about it, it's no different than what they're doing on the regular Evercades as well, because you have your cartridge section and then you have your games that are on the system section. Like in the Evercade EXP, if you want to play those Capcom games, it's a whole other section separate from the cartridge.
Yeah, just like the way I see it, it's like I don't see this problem because I don't approach it as an Evercade per se. It's just a standalone. Like that's exactly why I put the I did the Capcom unboxing and I put it right back in the box, and I'll never play that again. I'll never play that.
Got news for you.
Again.
Turn that down.
If you actually put it in the Evercade section and you put the cartridge in, it still makes that click sound.
Yeah, but like, I'll never play the Capcom again because why would I? I have it on my EXP, really.
Thank you.
That's why I only bought it for a shelf to have the collection. Like the Tato one, like I don't see me not playing that. Like that's if they only ever do like the Tato stuff and all that I think Hyper Megatech is going to could slowly just be what I play.
Time to global Hyper Meganet
instead of the Evercade. Just because it's just ease of use. They got 14, 15 games. I don't have to carry a pile of carts around with me. You know what? I'm really liking the Tato. The screen's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what my favorite game on the Taito is I keep turning it on to play Kadash.
Yeah, Kadash is great. New Zealand Story is great. Like I'm going through them now, and I don't know if I'll do a video or not on it. It's just like we talked about on game stuff last week. I don't know what I'll do there, but yeah, no, I mean the Capcom one for me was just like a collectible. It's now
it looks cool, but to Jason's, but like I really dislike the dog vomit green. But like I don't like the colors of the Taito
when I got this in my hand, it seems less green than I thought it would be. This is more of like an aquamarine.
Not so bad. You know what the best thing about the Pocket is the fact that it has an actual physical on-off switch.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. When I got the thing, I was like, oh, it's on-off. You can just turn it off instantly. And I think the part of the reason they can do that with this is because doesn't have the Wi-Fi. You don't have to worry about it turning it off in the middle of an update or something.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed that. Because the other day I went to like I was done charging my XP and I went to move it, and I guess the way I picked it up, I accidentally hit the power button. I'm like, really? Yeah. But the other thing too, and again, anyone who likes the Super Pocket, that's awesome. But for me, it doesn't have all those features that I really like about like the EXP. So for me, if I'm being honest, like it's not meant for me. For me, it's like I look at it as a downgrade. It's meant for all those other reasons or casuals. And so if you all like the Super Pocket, it's it's great, but it doesn't bring like I'd rather play like my purple OG handheld, if I'm being honest, or like if I need to bring an Evercade I don't care about, I'll bring my white one. It's fine. Like you know what I mean? Like
I don't know. I think I'd rather bring. You know what's funny?
I think I'd rather bring my Tato now. Like I'm kind of like I'm really loving the little device.
And plus, they got Puzzle Bobble on there, Bubble Bobble. It's got a ton of great games.
A lot of people
said that the Capcom one's better, but I actually think I prefer the Taito one.
Oh my god, yeah, me too. Like the Capcom one, I already have. Like Capcom again, like
even if I didn't,
I want it.
The games, you're getting more games on it too. for whatever reason.
Yeah, the Taito one is legit awesome. Like I don't know if it'll outsell Capcom because Capcom's more well known.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. See, that's more nostalgic. Oh, and I just wanted to point out too that I thought it was cool that it was on Metal Jesus' gift guide, and I've seen that a few other gift guides that people have pointed out. So yeah, it's a great way for Blaze to make money. But for me though, like, and I've said this, like, I'm not just going, like, as much as I love Evercade, I'm not going to buy like every little thing just because it has their name on it. I don't like Rich is really into collecting the buttons and all that stuff, and I think that's cool. For me, it's just like I didn't get the blue version of Full Void because I didn't want the case mismatch. I don't like that light blue on the cart. I don't care about the poster and like the extended comic book.
Well,
Like I don't, you know what I mean?
Do
So
what
like,
I
for me,
you
like
do what I
the
do, and
normal
you get
edition was
both.
fine.
You get both, and then you put the other one in a different spot.
Yeah, but for me though, like I'm like, why am I spending double the money on another cart? That's just gonna see for me. Like I like to use like everything that I get, I like to use and have like some practical use, or either that or has to have like some type of nostalgia. Yeah, like Darius Gaiden or so. Yeah, that would have been. Like that would have been, and again, to each their own. Like I see, there's a valid reason for Super Pockets. What I think will bum out the community is if like some of those like Konami's and other collections, that just goes to the Super Pocket. But then again, will we get?
I hope so. That would be awesome. You know what? Like I don't have much sentimental value to the Evercade. If the company can produce an easier way for me to play games I want to play, I'm down for that. And right now, the Taito is like scratching an itch. I must say, I probably played my Taito Super Pocket in the last day or 2 days more than my Steam Deck. That tells you a lot right there.
That's
also,
awesome.
Is it just me, or does the battery life on the Super Pockets last longer than the Evercade?
I don't know. It hasn't died on me yet. It's still 4 bars.
Also, yeah, and everybody that I've seen has gotten it.
New Zealand story.
And everybody that I've seen has made a video on it. It came fully charged.
No, what? Ooh. Okay, so yeah, you know what? You're right. It did come fully charged, and mine is still fully charged. And I've been playing it like crazy. What kind of voodoo's going on in this thing?
Well, it's got less. It doesn't have the Wi-Fi. It doesn't.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things not in it.
Smaller screen.
It's taking less power.
I'm going to change my channel name to Hyper Mega Canadian.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that makes me even wonder why they use the Hyper Megatech name is because when you turn it on, the first thing you see is Blaze.
Yeah.
And then Hyper Megatech. So why? What is the purpose of Hyper Megatech?
Hey, Crow, new podcast name, Hypercast.
Yes.
Hyper Megacast.
The battery would be interesting.
So you guys want to know about Hyper Megatech, whatever? Come to watch game and stuff tomorrow. That's all Crow and I will chat about, right, Crow? We're now the official podcast of Hyper Megatech.
Yeah, and we'll still manage to talk about hot dogs or something.
Yes. Yeah. Hyper Megatech cast. Oh my God, that's such a good idea because we both really like it. That's finally something we have in common.
I mean, again, it's great to get out there for me. Like, I like my XP, but battery. I always kind of felt with Evercade that like the battery life is more like 2.5, 3 hours. I mean, I don't know. It just, or maybe because I played a lot, it just seems like it's.
You know what? When we talk about batteries, I could give a rat's behind because I don't think I ever have more than 2 hours to myself to play anything. So it doesn't matter.
When people are complaining that this thing only lasts 5 hours, I'm like, man, you can sit there and play that for 5 hours straight.
It's not as much that. It's then you have to go and charge it, and then you have to like wait like an hour or two, and it's the portability. So I'm with.
Well, the thing though too is like if you really want to play and you're out of power, you can usually have it plugged in while you're playing.
I know, but then you have to be tethered and you're restricted, and then there's like questions that put more of a strain on the battery. Oh, okay. So
let's ask the chat. Let's chat. Say Y or N if you have ever get more than 2 dedicated hours to play a video.
Well, here's the thing.
Console.
I know there are people that when they're not playing it, they'll just put it down and not charge it. I mean, whenever I'm not playing something, I like to have it plugged in. But there are people that are like, okay, well,
I need to time that because I don't. Yeah.
I never have that. Like I can barely get an hour in. Most of the gaming I do is when I record my videos. That's the gaming. That's my gaming time. I edit out the stuff.
Well, that's a good way to,
and then I post a video.
Yeah, that's a good management of time, though.
Phantom, you don't have more than 2 hours. You're a writer extraordinaire. You're lying. Sir.
So here's
you're talking about my scripts or whatever.
No, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about Phantom says he has more than 2 hours
Phantom. Okay,
dedicated. I find that hard to believe because he's such a good writer and he writes a lot.
I missed that part.
Yeah, it's just more. Yeah, it's just more of the convenience, and I think for me, like if we could get that charging thing, could be more be more accurate and show us a percentage instead of the bars. Then, from a geek standpoint, I would like that more.
Well, you'll never. That's the problem, right, with the Hyper Mega Global Tech Super Pocket is that it. And by the way, I think I said that in a video, Hyper Mega Global Tech, on one of my videos.
Because I've been doing this.
Global Hyper Mega Net.
And I think I blamed you, Crow, so that's why I know you don't watch my videos. But like, because it's not easy to update, right? So I don't think we can ever assume that it's going to get updated with features like that. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, but I think, but for some reason it was designed that way. I would, which I don't know why, because sometimes I kind of feel like when I mention basic features like, can we get Turbo Fire? And that, then it's like, they're like, oh, they're like, well, no, the original games don't have it. And then like 2 or 3 people on Discord will come at like and attack me and be like, Blaze is a small
going
company.
to Discord.
Which, by the way, stop doing that.
Stop going to Discord.
I know.
I've told you for years, don't go to Discord.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens on Discord.
I know. I just like listen, and I just do want to address this real quick. Like, I do like to follow the community, but sometimes I'll chime in and I'll say something, and then there are certain people that will just they'll become like way too defensive. Or I don't know, maybe if they're just like attacking me, but then those same people, they'll never go to my YouTube site and say stuff. I don't know. It's all good.
We talked about that before the show started, right? There's a segment of people, you saw it today, some trolling me. There's people out there, dude, that have miserable lives, miserable existence, mental health issues, and just only ever feel better by trying to take other people down. Don't worry about it, man. They're just big L losers, and move on. I know you get attacked all the time in Discord. That's why I've been telling you, get out of there, man. You don't need it in your life. You're better than that. Yeah.
I know it's not even worth talking about. But
can I ban them? I'll go in and ban them all for you. I take great joy in doing that.
I know. I like to give people a chance, but anyways, maybe that's my fault. But I was just going through, and I saw this kind of sneak in, which had said this Twitter post that Blaze put out. To be honest, have we found all 2023's hidden games on Evercade via CXP? Leave no stone unturned when searching for them. Otherwise, you might find yourself empty-handed.
I'll just wait for Cheeseburger to find them, and then I'll be good.
Yeah, it's like I don't even look.
Crazy Burger finds them super fast, so I'll get them from her.
But did we?
I don't even look
something.
Because,
he does. But did we miss something otherwise, or?
I don't know. See, that's strange because usually the secret games are pretty good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, it makes it a little bit easier when you go to the secret game section. It says how many you found.
Yeah.
But that's not accurate. The combo carts in the VS are a little bit more difficult, but just to take the time to mix and match cartridges, I guess. But by the time I even started about doing that, somebody's already discovered something. So I don't even.
Yeah, I don't have time to look for secret games. Like I said, I honestly wait for somebody else to do it. Normally, it's usually Crazy Burger, so I just wait for him to do it, and it makes my life easy.
There you go. So it's so. As you always say, Pete, playing with my players again.
Gene joke is right. Gene, you're absolutely 100% right. That's basically, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, for me, it's not the device. Like it's going to be like a pure.
And you need to get one in. Get Potato. It's $40 or whatever it is. Get it. I think you'll enjoy it, dude. Like, honestly, do. It's a pretty dope system. I actually like it. I want them to stop producing Evercade stuff now and only make Hyper Mega Global Tech handhelds forever now. That would be awesome.
Show me what you got.
That would kill it.
I actually hit the wrong button.
Ed would be so mad.
I know you don't like the
Hyper Mega.
I know you don't like the color scheme though. So buy both of them and then open them up and switch the internals. That way you can have the Taito one in the yellow and blue scheme.
Listen, if it came on sale for $19.95. See, like I saw somebody mention it's like amazing. See, to me, it's like it isn't. I don't like if you're going because that's the market where you're stepping into. Like there's like the Mini Moo Plus and everything else. You're stepping into territory where there are better handhelds that that have built-in games, and that's what I'm comparing it to, right? And I know that you have the Evercade, like cartridge slot, but I'm comparing it to other devices. So that's
I compare
again,
it
to each their
to
own.
the
It's
My
not.
Arcade devices.
It's not for
Yeah,
me.
I think that's the most equivalent thing.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, it's like, it's not. It's like it's
picking this up again. There is one negative that I do have about this, and I just don't like how smooth the plastic is.
Yeah, well, that's a you problem.
Yeah,
back to the My Arcade. That's who I have a bunch of My Arcades, and My Arcades aren't bad, but I compare it to My Arcades, and I think everything about this device is far superior. Number of games, build quality,
it should be because they cost more than a My Arcade.
Yeah, but
exactly.
certain My Arcades run into the $40 range. Like, so this cost me $80, so it's double the price, but you get double the games, triple the games in some cases. My Space Invader only has one game on it, and it was $40.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I think it's probably, if you're going to buy anything Evercade this year, and I don't really recommend stuff very often, but man, I cannot not recommend Taito Collection. I think it's probably
Taito,
the strongest
Puzzle
thing.
Bobble.
I think what's that? Well, let me finish.
Stand.
I think it's the strongest product Evercade Blaze Entertainment's put out. That's a bold statement. I think it's their strongest product for me as a handheld gamer. Probably not Crow because he likes to VS, but
yes, for handhelds, I think I do prefer the Super Pocket for most things. I don't know.
Well, think about it. I'm a Steam Deck guy. I've got my PlayStation Portal, which I absolutely love. And this is dominating the last 2 days of my day. And I'm not even doing videos on it. I'm just playing it for fun. That's pretty damn cool. Don't tell Blaze I'm saying all this good stuff because it'll hurt my reputation with the assets and the community. So
I think as a portable device, it succeeds more than the Evercade EXP because it is smaller, lighter, and I think the battery lasts longer.
Yeah, and that's awesome. So there would have been a good use case maybe when I would have gotten it. Like when the EXP was delayed. If it's like, hey, while this is being delayed, here's a 60. Then I probably would have picked it up. I probably would have picked it up then. But it's just like for me though, it's like I rarely pick up like my purple or my white or my white Evercade. So for me, yes, I'm a different use. I like to use the things that I get. You know what I mean? So that's
not me. I get a lot of things I never touch again.
I'm in love with my Taito collection.
See, and if I had more affinity or nostalgia for Taito, that's why. Like, if there was a Tetris one or like,
I have none. I really don't.
Well, I actually do because one of the cartridge collections I was always hoping.
What am I talking about?
Well, Space Invaders and Space Invaders 91 are on it. So
now I never played that.
The 2600 version though. I know. See, that's what
I find. Ed, I find the 2600 version of Space Invaders my favorite version of Space Invaders.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I think I've said that before. I love the arcade.
So that's
yeah. So if they like, imagine if Blaze, if you're listening. And if you want to talk to me again, because I know you guys don't like talking to me anymore, but if you could go get an Activision license for this Super Pocket, I'll promise never to be critical of you again. Never, ever. And you can hold me to that because I'm a man of my word. I'm a Gen Xer. When I say it, I mean it. But anyway,
see, that would be different. Like,
get the Taito collection. You're a dummy if you don't own this.
If they did I already have the Capcom collection, the Taito game, like it didn't wow me. That's what I mean. It would have to be some nostalgia or anything. Plus, here's kind of the other thing. What I don't want to see is I don't like all those licenses. Like if they keep coming out with like Konami, SNK, like I don't like for me, like I don't want to support that. Like I want physical collections. I don't want, I mean, I guess it's good for Blaze making money.
Yeah, kind of physical.
Well, you know what? It is a physical device.
It's just not a cartridge.
Yeah, but that's a big difference, though. That's
not. Think about it, though. Think about it. What is the difference if the ROMs are on this or if they're on?
I'll tell you because I can't a cart you can swap in, and it's the whole nostalgia and experience, like getting that with the instruction booklet and not like to me. I look at that.
I'm gonna swap it out. Oh look, I swapped it out.
No, but it's different. It was like it's like for me, it's having like a Game Boy with carts versus like a Tiger Electronics.
Yeah, we get it, Ed. It's not your jam, man. That's fine. It's not your jam.
And but so I did. Just changing things a little bit here. I did want to ask people because like this seems like this computer collection, like
I don't have that yet. Mine hasn't been sent.
Really? Oh, really? You know what was amazing with the computer collection that I didn't know about? And I don't know if this is a spoiler. but there's an extra game in there.
Is it learning how to play all of them because they're computer games?
No, there's a Steam game in it.
Yes,
Are you
yeah,
really
no, I said that in my video. Yeah, you get a Steam key for Farm
which
Sim.
reminds me, I need to get that again so I could use the code. They gave you a code for Farming Simulator on Steam.
Oh, really? But
Yeah,
is it on the device? I don't understand. You get
No,
No,
it's a
no, you
separate
get a piece
code.
of paper with a
Yes.
code on it.
Yes.
They
Oh.
put into Steam for a free Farming Simulator for free.
Okay,
on Steam.
yeah, I don't have my collection yet. I have no idea where it's
Really?
at because
I
what does it
added
come
to my
with?
Steam collection. It'll probably won't get any play.
It's the Home Computer Heroes collection came with what other game? Full Void.
Oh yeah, Full Void. Yes.
Yeah, I got. See, you know what? I know why. Because I ordered that through Video Games Plus, but I think I pre-ordered a Switch game at the same time, so it's probably waiting for the Switch game to come.
Yeah.
No big deal. I've got my Tato
Yeah.
collection. I'm like, I don't think that's all I'll be playing anyway.
You know what's really funny though is you would think that the manuals. I don't know if you've looked at the manuals for both of them, but the Home Computer Collection. How many games are on there? I don't know how many games, but there's a lot of games on it. Full Void, only one game, and yet the Full Void manual is twice as big as the Home Computer manual.
Yeah. There's seven. There's seven.
I have
There's
the
seven
limited
games.
edition.
I did my first impressions on it, but like, okay, so here's a few things that I wanted to do a poll because here's something that I want to tell that I want to tell people, and this isn't directed towards anyone here, but this is, like I said, this is directed for some folks who have strong opinions on the way that I do my video, and again, it's mainly that Discord crowd, and then I'll shut up about it. First impressions means it's not a full review. You put in a cart and you see it, and I know, like, what I'm going to say, I know sometimes some people will say this about Pete too, being him, that if we put in a game and we don't play it too much or we don't like it, like, that's fine. Like, we don't have to like every game that you all like. That's all. Because
I hate
when I put in this cart,
people like.
Yeah, because like when I put in this, like, I know there's some people that, like, I guess they felt that I should have played like Planet X2 more, or I should have played that Farming Simulator more. I'm like, no, and it's
just. When you put a video out there, expect those types of comments. I don't mind them actually. I go out of my way to, when I did the Delphine collection and called it the worst cart ever. No, people who crapped on me didn't watch the video, because if you watch the video, I said many times, I think these are probably great games if you enjoy this genre. They're just not for me. So a lot of times, Ed, people don't watch your videos, like, or our videos or anybody's videos.
I know.
They just comment, and that's okay, dude. Don't let it.
But here's and maybe for my mental health, I need to, like, for Discord, the thing that just keeps me from not leaving the Discord server completely is the beta channel. But here's the problem with that, right?
You probably enjoy the product if you weren't in the beta channel, Ed, more, because you love surprises, dude. That's why I don't go there anymore. I just like getting surprised.
Yeah, so here's the issue that I have. If somebody doesn't like my content, doesn't like my opinions, come to my YouTube channel and give your opinions. Don't be a coward and go behind the scenes in the Discord, pics and video, and talk shit about me. That's what, and sorry for my language, and that's what drives me nuts, right? Because I go to the pics and vids, I want to see, oh, cool, here's a new creator, here's new stuff. And then I see somebody, like, saying stuff like, dude, just say it to my face. That's the issue that I have. Like, anyways, okay. Yeah. I think I'm finally off that.
I think what I've learned, and I've been on YouTube 15 years now, and going through, I never experienced any really crappy stuff until the Amico unraveling. And then I realized that as great as the community can be and uplifting, there's the exact same amount of that community can just rip you down and tear you down and be pure vitriol. And you can't let that take you down as a person. But a lot of people can't survive that, right? So all I say is just, ignore it the best you can. Get off social media as much as you can. Like, I don't really hang out in social media. And don't associate with people who tear you down either. That's how I kind of look at it. But I have an opinion. Have a strong opinion. It's important to have a critical opinion.
I know.
Yeah. It is what it is, dude.
Yeah,
I told you to get off Discord. I've been trying to help you, but you won't listen to me.
I know. I need to listen. I need to listen to
like
people.
Crow and I probably don't even know what's going on in social media because we're doing our own thing.
Actually, now that you brought, I didn't know really what was going on, but I get a clear picture now. You're talking about in Discord. I happen to wander into the pics and videos. Like, if I happen to see somebody sharing one of my videos, like, oh, wow, did I put that? No, I didn't put that there. Oh, somebody else did. Okay, never. And then I just leave. I think I somehow accidentally clicked on it.
Yeah, and honestly, people with this, like the thing, like for me, like one of the reasons I love about like Evercade and doing this is it's like, and I do it for my mental health. Like seriously, like I love enjoying the experiences, and so when somebody makes a comment like, "Hey, I'm really looking forward to your opinions on this," or "Great video," like it really helps. Like I love that. But at the same time, if somebody tears you down, it has the opposite effect.
Yeah, I put it this way. I started like this Evercade community with a bunch of you guys. Like we all started it. Like I call it the North American Evercade group. Like 99.9% of the community that watches our videos are amazing individuals. They're supportive. They have great comments. They tease. They do it in the right way. So that's the only reason I'm still doing Evercast, to be honest with you, is because of the people I see coming back every week for 3 years now. It's been amazing, right? And they're a great community, and they continue to watch my videos, and I'll continue to make it. That's how I see it, right? And that's the only reason I do it, because I love retro games, and I like talking about them. That's it, So, I mean, that's why, like, we have 34, 35, 50 people sometimes watching our videos every week, right? It's great.
Well, thank you, Dubs, and and that's I like comments like that, but So we'll get to this poll. So I wanted to poll people because I know like the computer collections, I kind of feel like if anything, like they're kind of more like hit or miss. So I was just curious to kind of see like what people think. And some people said I did buy it, really enjoying it, 25%. Some people 16% still on the fence. Some people 28%, which is higher. They bought it, they spent more time. And then some people said, yeah, it's definitely not for me, not going to buy it. Okay. And then the lowest was 14. And there's some people like, yeah, Gen Joke, it's a great cart as long as you don't mind learning most of the games. I really hate that YouTube does this because I don't, Swords looks great. Oh my God. Yes. Bridge Strike, my 2 favorite games so far. Never had the Mega No Attachment. It was this or the Super Pocket. So yeah, and so that's the other thing too, like choices, right? Like financially, like I get that. I'm waiting to see how you feel about your next video. Yeah, like I love comments like that. Mine's due with the Dukes. Yeah, okay, so that's what they mean. Yeah, Toxo is for pre-ordering. And then like Stewie said, like they're going they're going to they're going to pass on all blue boxes and not from, and I respect that. And then Rainwater Games, somebody I haven't seen. There's a home computer collection. I'm like, yeah, dude. And then
I completely forgot about it until I watched your video, and then I had to stop watching your video. Because I'm like, if I watch Ed play these, I might never play this collection.
And then somebody decided to be totally silly, like Retro Thief. They're like, we have some Jack Super Pockets 30, but I know they were making a joke because of like last year. Then I'm like, huh? And someone's like, I'm gonna call the police and go straight to prison.
I want to know how prevalent the limited edition different boards are, because maybe I should. I wasn't planning on opening up my limited editions, but I'm thinking I might have to now, just to make sure they're actually the right games on each of them.
I would.
And it's not. It's not
okay. I'm going to open it right now. Right now,
it could be just about anything.
A live unboxing of
it'd be great, because like there's been games I've gotten from. One time I got a game from Limited Run Game where I open it up. A lot of people don't open those up. They keep them sealed and they hope to sell them down the line for profit, I guess. But I opened it up and I put the disc in, and I was like, nothing was happening. It's because I got a version of the game they forgot to print the game on.
Oh, I got one of those from Limited Runs. They sent me a new game.
Yeah, they did that too. But it was like sometime down the line, because I didn't get to it for a while. So,
okay, what is with these stickers they putting on these Super Pockets?
I'm glad someone brought up Sword of Iona, because like so far I've been playing that like 2.5 hours, and I did want to point out the company that puts this, like there was also a Spectrum version. I'm really glad we did not get that, because the graphic, I really like
Spectrum's is not good graphics.
no, but what's pretty cool though, and if we go to their site real quick, is that like they let you download all their ROMs for free and you can buy their physical collections. But look, they have so many more. I just wanted to point out that they have like so many more games that are for like computer, like MSX, MSX2 and stuff. So maybe if we get another computer collection, like do more, like I want to give Blaze like huge credit, like do more of this. And I'm gonna have my follow-up video, but like for me, this is the first computer collection that I really like, because I don't have the nostalgia attachment to those other games, and I feel like we have some generally good games like that and Bridge Strike. Oh my God, even though like they emulated the longer loading time, but despite that, the one thing I will say they did get right is that you can actually, like Bridge Strike actually saves your high score. Where you play like Citadel, that first person shooter, you can actually save in the game like your levels. So
Still trying to get the sticker off. Just letting you guys know.
still trying to get the sticker.
What else? What else was saving a high score in Evercade? I can't remember now.
Back of the pesky robots. Yeah, kind of. Oh, so another thing too that I do want to well, I have you, Pete, and Crow here too that I did want to touch on. So one thing I have been dabbling a lot is retro achievements online, like using that on my Steam Deck. And every time when I'm playing, and you can do like hardcore mode, which is like the same thing as competition, no save states, and there's leaderboards. And I'm thinking like, I know initially Ryan said they didn't want to use like somebody else's back end, but they have put so much polish and so much work, and Blaze could just make the APIs to hook into that and have retro achievements on the Evercade. They wouldn't have to do much. They wouldn't have to maintain it. It would add so much more. It would like really grow the community.
They probably would have to wind up paying some sort of license to be able to use that. I think that's really what they don't want to do.
Maybe I don't, but it's all made by volunteers. I mean, yeah, these are commercial emulators. Maybe not though. I think they would be. I think they. Yeah,
but I think even though it is free for most people to use, I think if you want to put it to commercial use, you do have to pay for it.
Oh my god!
He's still trying to open it.
Okay, which one had the wrong one?
It was the Taito one, had the Capcom games on it.
Okay. Oh man,
you might want to check them both anyway, since you have them open, just because.
That's really slick, the Capcom one. But I don't like the light.
Yeah, the next game of the month. I don't
All right,
know.
let's
I
check
keep
the
forgetting
Capcom
about
one.
I haven't even played Game of the Month for the last couple months.
Dude, I'm looking forward to
the light bleed is not good on those.
And the Ash Brothers and all that.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing you just reminded me of was the light bleed on one. My Capcom one was pretty bad.
Oh my god, my Taito one has fingerprints all over the screen.
Really? Wait,
oh my god, my Taito one's all messed up.
Is it now? What do you mean by all messed up?
Yeah, I know.
Taito got Bubble Bobble.
So, okay, well, that's got the right games on it.
All right, that one's done.
I was gonna ask you guys, did you want to continue with this chat? Did you want to finish off the Toaplan arcade with the last two carts? What do you got? What are y'all feeling? Last two games.
It doesn't matter to me.
Now I'm checking my Capcom one. And it has... Right. Why does my Capcom one have... What?
We can talk about Toaplan Arcade 1 because I'm like, I know we just have two. We just have like two more on this one.
Why is my Tato one's got all kinds of fingerprints on it? That's gross.
That's not good. Talk about who was it? You, Crow, that said like you rated Tiger Heli low or something.
Yeah, I think this was my least favorite on the collection. It's not like I didn't like the game; it was just my least favorite of all. Let me just double check to make sure if I'm thinking the right one.
This baseball. No, dude, so for me, I love Tiger Heli because I did remember playing in the arcade and I really liked the Nintendo port. So like I thought this was cool.
See, I didn't really play it a whole lot. I put it as okay. I thought this was an okay game, but my least favorite in the whole collection. Because I don't really remember the whole power up system. I don't think you get. I think you get more bullets. I think per shot. And another common theme that was really prevalent with this one is your smart bomb. It doesn't activate right away. You've got to give it a few moments before it actually detonates. But it's the only other way. If you're going to get attacked by a barrage of bullets, it's also the only other way to block them from being able to hit you.
Yeah, I know it's a weird mechanic, but no, I like the time.
That's something that you're doing a lot in these type of games, though.
Yes. So funny that time Eternal again. I know he sabotages. I'm kind of glad. So funny that you mentioned because, like, I swear to God, if we got like the Guardian Legend, that was one of my favorite NES games that like really like got me like into shooters, and it kind of reminds me of like Blaster Master, where there's a mechanic that you change one thing into another. Anyways, so I'm glad to see other people like the Guardian Legend. But yeah, that time release you're talking about, Crow, is kind of weird because sometimes I feel like I could have had save deaths, and then I'm like, well, why didn't the damn thing go off?
Is Tiger Heli the one where you get the mini helicopters on the sides? Oh, you know what it is? It's you've got the two bombs. You can only have two super bombs at each side, and the way you could tell is because there's one on each side of the helicopter. You have to look very carefully. So when you release one, it disappears. But if you have two, you can't get another one.
Yeah, that's what it is. Dude, we do need a Toaplan 3. You know, I do hope next year we start off strong with some arcade carts, please. Or if they're gonna give us more blue.
Yes, this is the one with the mini helicopters too. But the thing is, though, is like those mini helicopters are just making your target bigger because they can get shot down too.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that. Thank you for bringing that up because I was gonna say I've only maybe gotten these like once or twice and then I lose them right away. But yeah, this is one of those games where it's done for continue. But this would be so much fun to like have retro achievements and leader and and leaderboards and all that.
I think retro achievements, like we talked about that 3 years ago, like an ecosystem they need to build, but they're not gonna. I don't think we'll get it in this generation of Evercade products. Maybe the next one, but like, because there's going to be an Evercade VS2, there's going to be an XP LP, there's going to be, because they're in the hardware business. So, but I'd love to have like achievements and stuff like that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, no, because I mean they have like. So I'm like, guys, we have wireless. Like, yeah, I know that was for the firmware updates, and I'm like, take a little bit more advantage. We can use it for, I realized doing online multiplayer and all, it's like very complicated, but I'm like, there are already systems out there that you could tie into, because I don't think they're gonna, and I wouldn't expect them to hire a whole team that it would take to build something like that from the ground up.
Yeah, maybe Atari will buy Blaze. They buy everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about that, but although
Atari's not doing anything wrong. Everything they're doing is just great, man. Like,
yeah, they've been on the ball recently, actually.
They've been the retro game company of the last couple of years, in my opinion.
And at least the 2600 Plus is focused on the physical cards, but so here's I don't know.
But Pitfall 2 is not even Pitfall 2 is not playable on it, which sucks.
Really?
Yeah. It's not compatible.
Is that just in their non-compatibility list, or people actually tested it out?
People tried it. John Hancock tried it, and it's not working.
I'm kind of avoiding all those videos because mine is coming. I'll be hopefully sometime next week. I'll be getting it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get mine to sit back because the joystick apparently is amazing. Sit back and play Frostbite, man. I can't wait to play my Activision games again. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, but actually, you just reminded me of something with the Super Pockets. Really quick, you know that
we're going to talk tomorrow night about Super Pockets. Isn't it new?
Cathedral is the only game that doesn't work. Why is Cathedral the only game that doesn't work?
Isn't that native for Evercade, right?
Well, that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought it was because it was a native game, but Full Void works, and that's a native game.
Weird. I was going to say maybe it's because the hardware's like the legacy hardware that the original Evercade had, where you can't play newer games, won't play on it. But that don't make any sense. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words.
I was going to say hot take, but I don't know why you'd want to play Full Void or Cathedral on the Pocket because it's designed for widescreen. Like that's I wouldn't want to.
It still works.
I played Full Void on the EXP. It's quite very playable. And actually,
no, the EXP, not the the EXP is I'm talking about the Super Pocket because the Super Pocket forces that 4x3.
Stop dissing the Super Pocket. You're not allowed to diss it until you own it, sir.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you get the black borders, but the fact that it's if you really wanted to, if you don't have a regular Evercade, if you wind up buying only a Super Pocket, because there's people saying that they're going to buy the Super Pocket and that'll be their Evercade. I mean, and why not have as many games as possible work on it? And right now, more games for work on the Super Pocket than work on the Evercade VS.
There you go. Everything works on the VS.
See that. What doesn't work on the VS? Okay, so it's easy fix because it did say that so that would be a firmware update, I think, or it may be one of those things where you get you could update the cartridge through like the VS or the EXP via Wi-Fi, and then the next time you put the cartridge in the Super Pocket, it works.
So here's the one thing that I want to know, and I'm like, and Blaze has to be tricky the way to come out and say this, but they may not add features like button remapping or some other features because they're like, hey, this is just to get you in the door. If you want all these other cool features, you have to pay for it and get the EXP. You know what I mean? So that's, yeah. What doesn't work? Yeah, I agree with iHeart. What doesn't work on the VS? Everything works on the VS.
The Namco collections.
Namco collections don't work.
Well, we don't have a physical cart for it.
Yeah,
We actually do. We have Namco 1 and 2.
Oh, Namco. That's sorry. I thought you said Capcom. True. Okay.
No.
You know. So you know what's hilarious about that? I swear to God, every day I see a post where they're like, "Well, the Namco collections, of course they'll work, dude." Like Blaze has said so many times, like on the handhelds that. Yeah.
Yeah, but because it doesn't
thinking
work on
Capcom
one
on it.
device, if you're not really
You
familiar
got
with
us.
the situation,
Yeah.
you got to question it.
Yeah. Well, and with the licensing, they never will. No, I kid you not, it would be cool if those devices would work on the VS, but it's not a. It's gonna like for me though. Like I guess I would be fine. Like if they did, well, I don't know. What if they did come out with like the Taito collections, but then like it only works like on the EXP? That would suck. Never mind. I'm like, would I rather than not come out at all? It's kind of a dilemma.
I think they want to not put out cartridges if they're not going to work on every device, which is why there's probably not a Capcom cartridge or a Taito cartridge, because maybe it's the kind of thing where it's the same deal with Namco where they would only work on the handhelds. So they don't want to put out a cartridge and say, well, this won't work on the VS.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, again, I'm glad it's I'm glad it's there. That's an option for people, as long as it doesn't take away from like the initial like Evercade model, and Blaze's model, and what I mean by that. So here's like the one thing that we don't know. Let's say like they do approach with Konami, and it's like, well, hey, and I guess from a business perspective, they may say, hey, well, we can make more money putting out a Konami on a Super Pocket than we would a cart. And then maybe, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know, like, is that the licensing way that these companies have to go? Maybe that's from a business standpoint, which that would be a shame, because that that like goes against like the original Evercade model, which is having the physical carts. So yeah, keep saying our piece. But alrighty, let's talk about the next game here. I do like how we're jumping around. We have all kinds of like different like topics and stuff.
Sounds like you're trying to mimic games and stuff. Just saying.
Or hot dogs even.
Hot dogs, yeah. Or
Hyper Mega back to games and stuff.
It's going to be called Hyper Mega Cast.
Oh, I like that. Hyper Mega Cast. That's actually that's
Hyper Mega Global Cast.
You should change it to that.
Well, it's not like we ever had a permanent name to our podcast.
So I just want to, like, for me, this is like I think the best shooter on the cart. Like I love Truxton. Truxton, yeah.
Truxton? I actually put zero. I put zeroing above Truxton.
No,
really?
Yeah.
You're a weird man.
I like the whole weirdness of zeroing, grabbing the enemies and stuff. This is just the standard shoot 'em up to me.
I like it. It's good. It's easy. I like it. It's a classic. It's a cult classic, right?
Yeah. What was really funny how if you looked at the Katie Says portion in the description of the the menus, it actually references Classic Game Room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was funny.
He doesn't do anything anymore, right?
He does. He came back.
Does he really? Because he kind of gave up. He was a fantastic channel for a while.
He did. He gave up, but what he's doing now is more of I don't know. His videos are a little bit more surreal now because his music is more of a focus on top of the games he's playing.
Yeah.
He's kind of melding the two together into some weird artistic thing in a way.
Yeah.
But I still watch it.
I really like his content. Like, oh, I got to get ready to go soon. It's just let you know I'm on a hard stop. So.
Okay. But yeah, for me, the graphics, the sound, like I like these kind of like arcade type games. Like to me, like
this
guy's
one
of my favorite shooters.
I gave it 8 out of 10.
I give this is for shooters. It's probably a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I just like it's gorgeous. It's fun. It's really good.
Yeah, for me, this is S tier. Like,
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. It's not S plus tier, but it's S tier for sure.
No, yeah.
It's not,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
even know
not
what that
S.
means. I don't
It's
even know
not
what that means.
SSS tier.
It's
I don't know.
SSS.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I started.
SX3?
I tried ranking things according to how you get ranked in like games like Beat Mania, and so my tier went from like F to like A, then it went S, then I went SS, and then SSS, and that just confused the hell of a lot of people. So I was like, okay, I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't like doing numbers because like for me, like if someone says a 7 like doesn't mean anything. If they say like they liked it, a thumbs up, or like a letter grade, then I can kind of relate that to a port card. Like that
Right.
Well, that's what
like to give.
that's why my numbering system has a word next to each number. So 8 is great.
But is it really?
You make it all complicated, but I mean it's all good. But I mean definitely like the thing with the Toaplan, well, to do like Toaplan 2 is that it's one of those like arcade, like I would like always I'd recommend somebody getting the Evercade ecosystem. I mean, and any of the arcade cards, but especially like these ones, because I think they're just like, unless you don't like shoot 'em ups at all.
Yeah, if you don't like shoot 'em up, so you don't like getting like, because these games are punishing, right? So cool beans. I'm out of here, guys. Got to
All
go.
right.
Bye, chat. It's been awesome. Catch you on Game and
Cool.
Stuff tomorrow. Are we doing same time tomorrow, Crow?
Yeah, same time. I think I'm done with having weird stuff happening on Sunday.
Cool beans. 6 p.m. PST tomorrow is Games and Stuff. Bye, everyone.
All right, bye.
Cool, hi Pete. So we'll just wrap up some things here. Oh, I did so random. I did want to mention, and again, bringing up like Steam again, but even if those like it's the 25th anniversary of like Half-Life, and you can until November 20th you can get the first Half-Life game for free on Steam.
And I already
So-
had it, so
I know, but
think I had,
it's
like,
one of those.
everything.
It's one of those things for Steam games. Like even if you don't actively play it, just grab it. Even though, admittedly, I do get a bunch of Epic games I've never played, but I'm like something like that. Like I believe most people have like a PC, and all that.
Which is
but,
actually one of the things I recently bought. I bought another PC. I bought a mini PC, actually. And that's going to be in the video that I'm going to be having come up later. It's just a update video that I've got coming up talking about the changes I'm making to my Evercade videos. This thing behind me, and another project involving a mini PC that I've bought recently. So I'm working on several different things at once.
Nice. Okay, sorry, my PC might have been being dumb there for a second. Yeah, no, it's always a thing that the challenger like as a content creator. So I kind of found like with like going in and doing editing that I was more like doing that for myself. That either way, people didn't they didn't care either way. Like if it was there, if it wasn't there. So it's just kind of like do
That's
it.
why I was making videos because of the editing, basically. Way back when when I first started editing videos, I would just do it like, I don't know, like really low tech way. But like way back in the 90s, I used to record like all the games I was playing, and then I'd edit that footage down using 2 VCRs.
Yeah,
That's how.
That is pretty old. So, but I mean, at the same, so I mean, it just kind of depends. But like for me, like I love like doing thumbnails are like so much fun. Like I love doing that. Like getting the right pictures and the right reactions and everything.
Yeah,
so,
that's
so value. So I'm glad you brought that up, Toxo, because it's so important because so all these emulation devices and everything, the competition is free, right? Like that, like anybody can download a ROM and play it on any device. So it's like, what is this device going to give you something special? So like Evercade for me, it's swapping the carts, it's getting the booklets, putting it on the shelf. The Atari 2600 Plus, that does it too. And kind of going back for Super Pockets, for me, having the Capcom and Taito collection doesn't do that same feel, right? So that's kind of the whole thing. And like yes, like I have emulation stations set up on my Steam Deck, but I'm playing the new Evercade cards. So if that like says something, you know what I mean? Like if that says something. So yeah, to each their own in whatever format. I just think it's good to have options, like either way.
Well, it's for me, it's more of a collection thing than anything, because there's really no other. You can't like modern games; they're not worth buying at all, like physically. because you're not getting anything really. What are you getting? You're getting a disc that you're going to put in, and then it's going to say, "Oh, you have this game. Well, let me download the whole game anyway, since it's not the same game. It's on the disc now." So it's not even worth it to buy, games, I think, physically, other than and it's true they do that with the Evercade as well. Sometimes they have to update the games in Evercade, but the difference is that they're actually updating the games on the cartridge itself, not in turn.
Yes, exactly. Well, and you bring up a great point too, Crow. There's also ownership, like with the having the physical collections and seeing me able to touch it. Like I have a feeling of ownership. Like games that I've like downloaded on like Steam, I don't have that same ownership. And that's why I think with Blaze it offers
It's a different
lot.
frame of mind. If you
it is.
get yourself in a different frame of mind, then you do own it.
Yeah. And there's also the curation, and that's what, like I said, like a new collection comes out, it forces me to look at those games and to play games. Because for me, like I hate this about and I've mentioned this many as I get older, like it's difficult for me to keep interest in games. But like Evercade has like magically like captured that. So it's like
well, think about it. It's like there's no if you think about it, all games, no matter how you buy them, they're digital. The only difference with a physical game is you're actually buying the physical device that's storing the digital game.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I know like Switch it's kind of interesting because like with Switch you can get the physical game. Some games, to your point, Crow, you still have to download. But I think most of them, unless it's like a special edition or limited edition, you don't get an instruction booklet. But there's literally a spot for the instruction booklet, which is like, why?
And there's been limited run games that they've sold, and they don't give you an instruction booklet with it.
Dang.
But you know what? They don't do. They sell games that aren't part of their numbered collection, and it's kind of hard to understand which ones are which because they'll sell games that Best Buy is going to sell as well, and they're not part of their numbered collection. So the lines blur there. The only two companies that I think that are really worth buying from are Special Reserve Games and Premium Edition Games, because you're gonna get really good packaging with both of those. You're gonna get with Premium Edition. I don't have any right here to show you, but you're getting. You know how you get the Switch case, you get the cartridge, you get the manual. You do get a manual with really high quality paper. You get dog tags with them now. You get a slip cover that looks like an NES, one of those NES sleeves that you could put that case in it, and then you get another slip cover to put that in.
Dan, I'm glad Dan, channel member, and I will always call that out. I'm glad that you brought this up, because even though like nowadays, like let's say like CD games, they're more like keys and all that. There is that secondary market. So like if you do get like let's say like a PS4 CD, you can still trade it in, and digital you can't.
And you can, but here's the thing: is that they're not worth anything. Like Fallout 4, I have on PS4. I can't get $5 for it. You can't. You can buy it brand new, sealed for $5. That's because the retail value.
It depends on the game, but his point is, hey, if you get done with the game, you can sell it. You could go into GameStop. You can, you could give it to your buddy. With digital, it's like it's a lot.
That's true. You can trade out the games and stuff. I'll give it that. It's more than just that. But the thing is, I wouldn't be buying that stuff to hopefully resell it and recoup some cost later. Because by the time you're going to resell it, you get those games for pennies digitally.
So funny, digital is a lifetime. Yeah, exactly. No, that's funny that you mentioned that, because like every time, when I added that Farm Simulator Steam key from the computer collection, they remind you of the subscriber agreement. Yeah. So, but then here's the big deal with that. Like for the Evercade, 5 or series, you can still put on a physical cart. And to your point, Crow, as long as you updated it, let's say if that cart, you still have the latest version. Like the Xbox 360 store is going down. So then the question is, some of the some games that still are on physical media that you have to do that download, you may not get the latest version of the game. You know what I mean? But then the one thing that if you want to call it piracy will always preserve games having so you will still always be able to get that stuff.
But that's the other thing, is that's why I won't buy digital games on anything other than the PC. I never like buying games on like the PlayStation. Like the PlayStation 3, buy all these digital games. They come out the PS4. Guess what? None of your digital games now work on the PS4.
Yeah. And because I always felt they were temporary. Like when I wanted like Miss Pac-Man, I waited for that to be like $2. Some of the like at least like the one of the Namco collections that I have, that collection's so small it does fit on the CD. So yeah, I when I did buy stuff for the PS4, I would only maybe want to pay $5 or so, like for like those retro collections, and because for that same reason, like okay, I guess I'm just renting it until I mean, that's a whole other topic, but yeah, that's why if you're going to go digital, Valve has that. And that's why, like, for everything digital, Valve solves all those needs. And then physical, for now, Evercade solves those needs. And it's like, do I really need a 2600 plus? I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's, and actually, me and Rich talked about that a lot, like on card. Like, do you really have to have physical? Do you really have to play some of these games in physical media format? You know?
Yeah, I think like I used to be like never digital. I'd never buy a digital game, only physical. But now I'm like, no, because they're not really providing, like especially Nintendo, it makes no sense. Like like for Nintendo, I'd buy the physical game over the digital game just because it's odds of it being, yeah, it's gonna get updated, I guess, but they're same costs. On Nintendo Store, they have some sort of mandate that the digital games have to cost the same as the physical games. So why would I spend more money or the same amount of money to get less, by buying the digital version? So at least, and again, with the physical version, you can, trade it, whatnot. But if you're looking at like the PlayStation and Xbox, I don't know if there's any reason to actually, other than if you wanted to trade it. But if you're buying a game and you're planning on keeping it, physical, it's kind of like almost a pointless thing, I guess. If you're thinking about it.
Well, it depends on the use case. Like if you like, some people like they like the collectability, they want to put it on their shelf.
Yeah, you got the collectability.
That's the thing.
They're not really offering you much to collect anymore. What are you getting? You're getting the case. Yeah. You're getting a case and a disc, and that's it. And then you're gonna have to put that disc in every time you want to play that game.
Yeah,
regardless if you have the disc, you still have to have a hard drive in the system that's going to take up the same amount of space as if you bought it digitally. Am I blurry? Yes, I'm blurry.
Yeah, I was going to say something too. Yeah, and then it's the consoles have become more like computers, and there's that whole other thing. But yeah, for me too, the thing with Evercade is that like having to physically swap carts and you have collections, like it makes it like for me not get as overwhelmed on like what to play. Like I really like that.
Yeah, Julian, if you have friends that will want to play games, like borrow your games, then you buy physical. But none of my friends want to trade games or anything. They're already all digital. They're not buying physical games.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. No, definitely great discussions and good, and to go different reasons. But that's why I said like for like Blaze, they've done it right with having the physical media and all that. And I think that's why we don't have leaderboards, we don't have all those other things that we want. But like I'm willing to overlook that as long as they keep delivering like the Duke collections. Oh my god. The Duke collections and the Astros. I know they're Astros.
I think one of the things one of the reasons I kind of made it easier to switch to digital is because there's something out there that's worse than digital.
What?
Subscription.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. See, and that's the whole. And that's like my beef with the Nintendo is that they won't even let you buy like all those like retro digital games that you have to keep renting them. Exactly. No. 100% right. But to each their. I mean, listen, to each their own. It's like, if you want to get the physical, it's a shame in the modern era, the physical games, just like knowing that, hey, I may not have the complete game, but having the physical game, it does give you the options, like, later on, and you can have something on your shelf. So and that's why it's kind of like, there really is no wrong way to collect or play these games. It's whatever you enjoy the most.
It's funny that they said records and cassettes have made a comeback. This is one of the more recent things I bought. It's the soundtrack to Splatterhouse on vinyl.
Dude. See, so that looks awesome. So here's the thing, and I like if I didn't even have like vinyl is worth collecting, even if you don't have like a record player, because like it just the artwork, it just looks like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a ton of vinyl. Let's see here. I started collecting it a couple of years ago, but like there's this because I kept seeing video game soundtracks on vinyl. Here's at the Tekken 5. I can't. I don't have space to put down anything
nice.
here. Yeah, Spinch.
Dude.
Spinch is a really weird game. This is the soundtrack to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Pizza.
Yeah, it's a really weird box, but it's Turtles in Time soundtrack.
You know what? I'm glad that you're showing on vinyl because I know somebody has said this.
King of Fighters '98.
Oh, dude, the Evercade is kind of like the modern form of collecting vinyl for video games. Like I love that analogy. Like that's
King of Fighters '94, King of the Fighters '95.
Oh,
that's
so you know what
that's
though?
just a handful of what I had out because I was listening to these yesterday.
Funny, well, it's not really funny that you bring up Neo Geo, but like CDs, CDs like in Japan are a lot more expensive. Actually, DVDs and stuff, and I don't know if they still sell VHSs are more expensive because they still have the mindset that like remember when like VHSs came out like initially like they were like $100 because like the companies were like, well, we want to get our money's worth of somebody watching it, and Blockbuster's like, that's fine, we'll buy them for $100 and rent them out. Like the cool thing is like in Japan they have that same mindset, like they want to get value for physical media for some certain, so that that's why some things over there are more expensive. So yeah, it's like. But then you know what though? I heard like Australia is still pretty huge on physical media, so it's like depending on where you are in the world, it's great.
But yeah, like for physical, like when we're talking about movies, like I was buying any movie that I would want, but then it got to a point where I was like, okay, well I'm only buying the movie if I can get the steelbook version of it. But now I can't. Like now, there's really nothing. I've only reserved the only DVDs and Blu-rays I'll buy. By now are Mystery Science Theater, anything on Mystery Science Theater, or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure related. Those are the only Blu-rays I'll buy.
Gotcha. No, I was gonna say I'm like 1/3. I'm like 1/3 German, so that's why that kind of chuckled. But I like physical media. So, anyways, that's you kind of give me.
I like it too, but it's just so much more convenient, digitally, especially on PC and stuff.
So I'm glad that you said that, and we'll kind of go into final. So here's the thing, right? So for me, like if I'm going on a trip, like one of the reasons I don't want to bring like let's say maybe my Evercade and maybe with a Super Pocket would come into play is that like I don't want anything to happen to it, especially like my limited edition. I don't want to lose carts. I like going on a trip. I don't want to mess with carts. So if I were to bring a Super Pocket, I would bring it with like the one game. But then, like, I don't want to put something like Pico or Namco in there that's limited. So if I'm going on a trip, I'd rather bring my more expensive like Steam Deck, even though it's bigger and bulkier. But I'm not going to bring that like on a cruise ship. So then maybe I don't bring anything. You know what I mean? So it is. I know what you mean. Like it's more convenient to have that digital device. So I don't know. Or maybe you just bring the Pocket with no carts.
But also, like, digital's kind of convenient too because I went over to my sister's house. And we were going to play Jackbox games. And there was one Jackbox game we were talking about that I didn't have. I just went online and I bought it right there. Downloaded it and we played it. So
yeah, see that's the convenience. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See that's the convenience. Or like as far as like portability, yeah, you could bring like your VS to like a friend's house to play, but some other devices like Steam Deck, like you could hook up like 4 Bluetooth controllers, have all your Steam games that you had like on your PC and play those party games or to your point core buy. So yeah, I guess the point of what we're trying to it's great to have options out there.
Yeah, it's not like saying that one is better than the others. There's advantages and disadvantages to all of them.
Exactly. That's yeah, and that's what but when I don't like that's why when you have people gatekeeping like. The only way to play it is on my CRT. Like that's fine if you like that. For me, I love the way HDMI. I love the way I can see pixels on things. You know what I mean?
But for me, I think I'm just like, especially for modern games, I'm not thinking about physical anymore.
Yeah. Oh, so actually, Julian D is right. So yeah, our favorite space Discord. The Sean from Blaze, he said like currently, I think he said like currently they're 512, but they could make them a gig if they needed. Actually, I think technically he said that like they could make them bigger in size, but then probably like I kind of have the feeling like that would make the cost go up. But it seems like they could keep the pricing similar if they made it like 512 to a gig. And all.
Yeah, that's could be why like with bigger games you're getting less games.
Yeah. See, have you using filters? Yes, that's awesome. And that is the one thing that I will say, which kind of has me torn between like, do I want to get like a physical Game Boy or playing Game Boy games on my Steam Deck? Is you can use shaders and things like to get that old school look, because like Game Boy game, I don't want to play them in black and white, but I like the old school. But then of course you can get like if you get an IPS screen, you can tap through and change the different colors, or you can get like a color edition, but all good stuff. But I guess we should probably wrap things up into final thoughts. I do like it that it was kind of funny, like after towards like the hour mark, we can kind of go off and talk about other things. We do that on Calling All Retro Gamers too. Like we talk about Evercade like after we get past the 45-minute or hour.
Or you start talking about Evercade right off the bat.
You know what? It's okay. So there's one person to blame for that, which I think is good. Like Ian Hobbies, like him or like Fed of Fiction, which is good though. Like we welcome that. It's their fault, no, but in a good way though. Like they'll bring up stuff and it's fine. Like they're like I know what you're doing there because they know we can't resist. If they bring up Evercade, they're gonna talk about it. But yeah, what do you got going on? You did say that you're changing your format. And you're going to put out a video. For that.
It's funny because I started playing it and I started it with Metal Mech, and after about an hour of playing it, I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yes.
So I was like, why am I forcing myself to play this game? But I'm going to change it.
Exactly.
The thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to change it to where. And I'm not going to write a script. That's like the only main thing that's going to change. And I'm going to record myself as I'm playing the game, but I'll just figure out editing it from there. Because I don't want it to be like an hour for each game, obviously. I don't want like a 10-hour video for a 10-hour for a game collection with 10 games in it. So I'll figure out the editing after I film everything, and we'll see what happens.
That's what like to your point. Like to me, I like it to be organically. Like if I'm playing a game, and sometimes like when I do my long play, I'll be like, oh, like after 10 minutes, like I'm like, you know what, I could go sometimes I have to cut myself off. But yeah, that's the kind of thing. Is there are other bigger channels where they may make a tight Evercade video for 10 minutes, but then I realized like people really started to like your format. With the longer plays, and some people suggested that like they actually want to see us play the games. And so I've had a lot more fun doing that, and I don't feel as restricted now. And if there are things like in Final Thoughts and stuff, like if I watch that back and I don't understand what the hell I'm saying, or I ramble on even for Ed, then I'll cut it because I'm like, I don't, very rarely do that. Very rarely.
I didn't start out writing like a script for everything. In fact, I just started out just talking about the games off my head. But it was easy to do for things like the Atari 2600 games and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then for games that are like indie games, get more complicated. It's harder to like. What I would find myself doing was like talk about the game, and then I'd go back. And I'd be like, oh, I forgot to talk about this. Or I forgot to talk about, oh, well, I guess it's just not going to be in the video. So that's why I started writing out things like in an outline first. And then I just started writing out everything, what I was going to say word for word, which I obviously didn't. I'd read it, but I'd still paraphrase my own writing.
Yeah. For me, it's a mental list. And sometimes I've tried to, for me, it's more of a, more like a mental list. Like sometimes when I'm actually like going for a walk, I'm like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to talk about this. Or sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I have an idea, I think about the thumbnail and then I build the video around that,
But I'll still like do my look up information about the games before I start playing them, because there's a cheat code in Metal Mech that's pretty interesting that lets you skip right to the next level if you want. So I want to look up that kind of stuff before I play it, obviously.
Yes. So thank you so much, Julian D, for saying this. You guys put out very different Evercade content. I like thank you. And that's kind of the whole thing. Like what I do is different. What Crow does is different. What Rich does is different. And Pete, and that's how it should be, because and that's the thing. We don't want to be like, some of the channels, that's why I mentioned people who don't play Evercade. Yeah, they put out that 10-minute video to show stuff, and that's good for you. But like, that makes me so happy to hear that, because we're all trying to do our own thing. We don't want to copy each other.
Well, that's the thing. Even if you try to do exactly the same thing, everybody's going to have a different thing, because there is no such thing as an unbiased review.
True. But that's great. That's great to hear though, because all of us, like, we're just doing our thing, just having fun and sharing it. And for me, like, I've adapted my formats to kind of what people like, and that's what and I had more fun doing the longer format, because it does take the pressure off. Oh, do I need to crunch everything? I'm like, no, you know what? I'll put it out there. People can jump to the different sections. They can watch what they want to play, or they can watch the full thing. The one and I guess I'll talk about what's going to be next week on my show. The one fun thing, and I cannot take credit for this, but one fun thing that I do in my video, I don't know if you guys watch like the Retro Future or Elliot Cole, and he does like a lot of like cool, crazy things with Game Boys or handhelds. But like, and one of like, he doesn't do this as much anymore, but like towards the end, he would make up some nonsense word and just say, hey, put this, I'll heart it, let me know that you've watched the full video. And I'm like, that's a cool idea. So kind of what what I'll do is I'll look at the Evercade packaging and find something random, and I'll go ahead and I'll say that because it's just kind of a fun thing. Like, you know, kind of reward people. Hey, if you watch the whole thing, you can kind of join in this weird silly silly thing and all that. And I can't take credit for it, but I love doing that. Oh man, thank you so much for mentioning that, because Jillian, I've really struggled with it. That's one of the things I've struggled with for a while. And I have to give Michael B, the Game Genie, credit, because he did a whole video and broke down how he does his thumbnails and all that, and kind of like said, hey, it's important to include your pictures. People can so I've kind of followed that method, and I appreciate that, because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs, and I know that as far as like the Evercade community, like there's a ceiling of like, you know, roughly how many people will be interested. And so I'm trying to, you know, I think all of our channels have topped that, but to get to the 1,000 subs, you have to get out of that community. Like, how do you get to people? So that's really motivated. And I've had a lot more fun with thumbnails. So I appreciate that. Like, that's, you know, I do put more time in them. It helped that I have like how's it, not a tripod, I guess. Yeah. So I can like set up my phone and take pictures, and I have my blue wall behind me. Yeah. I have a lot of fun with that, and I appreciate it. Cause anyways, kind of rambling on. Supposed to be in final thoughts. Oh, other than, you know what? So here's what I've thought about doing, like the top 5 worst Evercade cards. It's not, you know, I don't know if there's anything that I hate, but it'll really depend, because we're having all this overload in November, and I might want to do like a top video of all the, you know, rank all the Evercade cards. But at some point, I thought about that. Yes, cool. So someone else, yeah, and his second channel, Elliot Cole, is great, because he'll like. That's like, which is fun. Like, that channel has a lot of subs, but that's like where he'll just like kind of do like what he calls his rough edits, but they're still good. Like, he'll maybe like unbox like a Nintendo DS, and then on his main channel he's going to modify it. But yeah.
Speaking of which, that reminded me, that's one thing I still need to do, is I still need to make a video where I am taking apart a Super Pocket.
Yeah, I want to see. Dude, I want to. I want to see that. But yeah, I let you know. One thing I will say is that, like, for me, I do like to watch a lot of like different modders like him, Macho Nacho Productions, because there's something just like they put out these like really high quality videos and take time and all that great fun stuff. They kind of like do that, and not only that, but like those two channels, it's difficult to do different things in the retro space. So that's why, Jillian D, when you said that, it makes it, you know, makes me happy to see. It's difficult to bring something unique, and especially something niche like Evercade, like bringing it more unique. Like, yeah, like to your point, like everyone has their own personality, and they add that so that it's gonna get rambling on, which is all good. So for me next week, so I am gonna put out my my initial impressions video of Full Void, and the dilemma that I had at that. So I didn't, because that is a shorter game. It's not going to be a full hour-long video, because it is just the one. Like, I had to cut myself off after playing it for like 10 minutes, because I didn't want to spoil it, and I do want to follow up. So that's kind of the only difference, because it is just the one game. It won't be as long. But yeah, I did start to get into this. So I'll have Full Void, and then I'll do my follow-up. And I need to do my follow-up to video to the Computer One collection, unless like the Dukes hit and that just overrides everything. It may be out of order. Like, I might just have to give my first impressions of the Dukes, come back to that collection. So things may change the order. That's the problem with my mic being right here. Knock it over. So yeah, I'm
not so far behind on things where I'm changing the order of things I'm doing. I had to do that for Pinball FX though, because I want to do all the videos for Pinball FX, but there's like 80 something, maybe even more than that. So I'm doing in a reverse order, except for if a new one comes out, then I'll jump to the new one.
That would be a funny.
By the way, there's a new Pinball FX table coming out in December, Exploding Kittens.
Ooh. You know what? So the funny thing about pinball, it's one of those, like, it's one of those things where like digital is cool because it's cheap. You know, it's definitely like cheaper than getting like, you know, like a real pinball table. I do have a feeling though that like if I went to something like Pinball Expo and actually played on, like I would be like hooked, and like that stuff is like really expensive. You know what I mean? So it's like,
well, yeah. You're talking about the standard machine costing in the neighborhood of $8,000 these days.
Like I wish I had a barcade. Like, dude, like I like Elton John's music. It's not like my favorite band, but man, like that table though is like amazing. Like my wife are like,
you played it?
No, videos that I've seen. Like, dude, it has like a huge like like LCD
Oh, yeah.
on like for the back. Like
Oh
on the
yeah, I'm aware of it.
backsplash.
I played it at Pinball Expo.
I bet that's
I made
amazing.
video.
It looks, oh my god, like things.
It's great, and here's the best part: it's designed by Steve Ritchie, my favorite pinball designer.
Oh, and of course, like Pinball Wizards on,
Which is funny because Pinball Wizard isn't even an Elton John song.
I know it's a Who song. Yeah, I know. It's a Who song. Yeah, I know. I know.
He did sing it. He did sing it in the Tommy video, in the Tommy movie. But
Yeah,
I just thought
yeah,
that was
yeah.
funny that he sung the video. Let's put that song in there too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's people. Yeah, retro game. You know what? Maybe I like a video on the YouTube. Yeah, no, dude, he is awesome. In Retro Game Corp, like I remember watching him before he did it full time. And the one thing that like I do like about him, again, like somebody like they might talk about like a new handheld, like that's like Mad Little Pixel might talk about like the OLED screen, but then he'll go in and he'll do the long format and he'll like very geekily like test everything. Actually, kind of like what you like, kind of like what you do like with like your videos, Crow. Like he does that. So yeah, there's a lot of great content creators out there. Metal Jesus has this stuff going to Japan. Actually, there's quite a few YouTubers that go to Japan and take like I love that. And then John Hancock has his videos where he like covers like all these cool like retro home brews and stuff. So yeah, there's all these niche creators, and I hopefully in the Evercade space, we all kind of like fit into that stuff. Got 400 subs. I think Ed rates him as well. Yeah. So yeah, he has. So yeah, I mean, and all good. Taki udon. Yeah. That's funny.
Taki is octopus. Is it?
I don't know another. All right, I keep threatening to wrap things up. I love your off the cuff stuff, but I also love Crow's World. Yeah, see exactly. See that's Will. See that's.
Oh well, forget it. There's no more well scripted stuff coming out.
Fiction channel member. Yeah.
And I never called my videos reviews, but okay.
See, the thing is, like, I don't like. It's funny, like, even if I did script it, I'd like. You guys, I don't think would like that. You'd be like, "What the hell, man? It sounds like a robot." And I'll tell you, I'll leave you with this. I'll tell you the reason why. Like, I don't because like all during the day, like for work, like I have to be like scripted, and like in the corporate world, you do have to like talk like a certain way. And so for this is like a chance for me to like be myself where I don't have. So kudos to people who do scripted, but for me, it would feel so much more like work and not fun, and that's kind of why. All right, okay, so yeah, I think we need to wrap up here. Great show, great attendance. Again, like Pete said, like towards the beginning, like 99.9% of the Evercade community is awesome, and that's true because we said it here and all that. We do appreciate people tuning in. Tune into Crows and what's y'all show? Video games and stuff.
Games and stuff. I think
games and stuff. Yeah. Tune into that. Probably after the Thanksgiving, me and Rich will have another Calling All Retro Gamers and videos on our channel next week. And
that's right. Next week we get to stuff ourselves with turkey
and all that fun stuff. So yeah, thanks everyone again. Especially all those all recent members. I think I said it in a community post. All the recent members of my channel do appreciate all the influx of subs. Almost to 900. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to 1,000. Oh my god, we're gonna get there. And all that. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate it. Anything else you want to play before I play the outro?
Party on, dudes!
There you go.